Could we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation, please? Moved it on your tongue.
I probably get it right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Councilman Fantasia will lead us in the invocation.
Please allow myself and my fellow colleagues to make the right decisions for the city. Amen.
Amen.
Is that the West Side intern?
No comment.
Could we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Parker?
Present.
Applegate?
Present.
Martinez?
Present.
Fantasia?
Present.
Mayor Reed?
Present. Communications from staff. I believe Chief Brady has something.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I do have a couple of items. One is actually comes from one of our other councilmen. I have a block party, the Lucas Ranch 12th anniversary block party coming up Sunday, July 15th. It's been approved. You already received a letter confirmation on that. And
Are we invited, Tim?
Sure.
Okay.
Come on out. Bring a side dish.
Okay.
So just to let you know, that's all being taken care of, barricades and everything, so it's been handled. The other thing I'd like to do is, from time to time, we have merits of service that we'd like to give out and awards to our staff as the in the form of commendations for work that's over and beyond the call of duty. And at this time, I have one I'd like to give out. I'd like to call Officer Johnny Lemus up. Johnny, I want to present this award for distinguishing yourself and performing at the highest caliber of law enforcement on June 20th, 2001 with the arrest of a narcotics trafficker. That you developed information several months prior regarding a light-complected Hispanic male driving a white Hyundai who had purported to be delivering illegal drugs to several homes in our area, and that you personally conducted an ongoing surveillance for the suspect over several months. That on June 20th, while conducting a surveillance in the southern Newman neighborhood, you located the vehicle and the subject matching the description. That the driver failed to signal while making a turn, and you conducted a vehicle stop and contacted the driver. After contacting the driver, you were able to get a consent search and located 5.7 grams of methamphetamine, packaging material, and other drug paraphernalia. The driver was arrested and booked on drug possession and paraphernalia. Although the actual amount located was less than hoped, the fact that you had remained so diligent in the goal of removing a potential narcotics trafficker from the streets of Newman speaks highly of your character and your professionalism. It's also noteworthy that this was conducted while just working your normal patrol duties. This wasn't a special assignment. This is just something you were doing as you were able to do on patrol. So it's with great honor that I commend you on your efforts to keeping drugs out of our community and show that there are consequences to those that choose to bring drugs into Newman. And I present you this on the 10th day of July 2001. Thank you very much. You want to say something, Johnny? Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Councilor Lemus.
Thank you, Johnny. Congratulations. Any other communications from staff at this time? None, okay. Item number 6, items from the public, non-agenda items. While the City Council welcomes and encourages participation in the meetings, it would be appreciated if you limit your comments to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard. Matters under the jurisdiction of the Council and not on the posted agenda may be addressed by the general public at this time. However, California law prohibits the Council from taking any action on a matter which is not on the posted agenda unless it's determined to be an emergency by the City Council. Yes, Mr. Novoa.
Bob Novoa, your in-house photographer. Your Honor and City Council, as you can see, the flags have returned to their original position, and we did this earlier without your knowledge and without your consent, and I sincerely hope if you're offended by it, we apologize. However, after taking a consensus and a poll of the individuals present and also having some feedback from folks that watch on TV. We're wondering what happened to the flags and why are flags no longer in the council chambers. And certainly we all who are present knew that they were over here against the wall. But
Yeah,
and I appreciate that.
you know the reason
Yes,
behind
I
it,
do,
though?
and I
Okay.
appreciate that. Sometimes it may appear that you're turning your back on the audience, but we all understand that we're all doing our duty to salute the flag. And now, I would appeal to your good judgment and say that if you check the film tomorrow night, you'll see that they are certainly in a place of honor and where they probably ought to be. So
We're all going to wear T-shirts with Newman on the back so that you can see it.
that's fine. I think everybody knows where we're
Okay.
at. Thank you.
You still have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Bob. Items from the public, agenda items. Any member of the audience desiring to address the council on the matter on the agenda, please raise your hand or step to the podium at the time the item is announced by the mayor. In order that all interested parties have an opportunity to speak, any person addressing the council will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes unless the mayor grants a longer period of time. And when you come to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Item number 7, public hearings. There are none. Item number 8, consent calendar. 8A, approval of warrants. 8B, approval of minutes of the June 21st, 2001 regular meeting. Item 8C, authorize city manager to enter into agreement with Garcia Davis Ringler Engineering to prepare plans and specifications for L Street improvements and Newman Industrial Park improvements. Any
Mr. Mayor?
question? Yes.
I'd like to pull consent calendar item 8C for discussion by staff.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the first two items, A and B?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, consent calendar item 8C. Tim, do you want
Yeah, I'd just like to
Cleve
hear from, I'd just like to hear him expand on this particular issue of the L Street Industrial Park improvement and how it's going to tie into what we already have going in over there.
Well, the purpose of this is, you know, we've been negotiating for the land, to sell the land that the city owns down at the end of L Street.
Mhm.
The purpose of this is to extend that road so that that land is accessible.
Okay.
Most of the properties owners, or the developers that we've been negotiating with, we've been informing them that our intention is to have that land available for, have the improvements in so the land is available for development by spring of 2002. In order to make that work, we need to proceed with these improvement plans and move right into construction to have the improvements in, the road extended both to the south of L Street, and this will also, if you're familiar with the map I should have brought in here, it will include a short extension perpendicular heading east off of L Street to the immediate south of Spec 5 Steel.
That should be industrial way, right?
Correct.
Off of industrial, okay, I have that on the small map.
Off of L Street,
And we're
yes.
projecting that to be somewhere in early spring of 2002.
We expect to have that done by spring of 2002, yes, as early as possible.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, motion to approve item 8C.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve item 8C.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Item 9, regular business. Item 9A, discussion and update on the activities and status of the Newman Economic Development Committee. Mrs. Mattos, do you have something to say about that?
Susan Mattis, 744 Hardin Road, Newman. I just wanted to inform you that we had an opening on the Economic Development Committee, which is a committee that kind of serves you at our will, I guess. And so we had an opening, and Jim Silvera was asked to serve on that position, and he has accepted. So just with your blessing, to let you know, that would be Jim Silvera, Bush Rose, Jim Jasper, and Lloyd Bigelow and myself are on that committee now. And we will be meeting within the next 2 weeks and get an update from Cleve as to what's happening with the industrial park and where we are going. We've had several contacts, I'm sure you all know, concerning the industrial park, and so things are happening in Newman. But I wanted to give you an update as far as the entire committee goes itself.
And Bush is the new chair.
And Bush is the chair, should he so accept, I guess. Is he
No, he
accepted?
did.
Oh, he did accept. Okay. So I won't be coming to you anymore. Bush will. Anyway, so just to give you an update. Okay.
Anyone have any questions for Susan before she gets away? No?
No, but I just want to
Okay.
say, I think it's a very important committee that we have in this city.
It is.
And they've already done some good work and are bringing some industry into this town, along with working with Cleve as the city manager.
All right, item number 9B. Status report on community rating system flood insurance program. Cleve?
This is just an information item also. This information had been brought to staff and asked us to look at it. I just want to bring it back and let you know we are in the process. What we're doing right now is doing an evaluation to make sure it is something that we want to go into. There's several tiers of information that you can provide that have potential to provide discounts on flood insurance rates. However, there's very stringent requirements and some things that have to go to. It's not just a simple process. And you have to be in a certain flood zone to qualify, and et cetera. So we're doing some preliminary work prior to going into that. I've got my planning director, Bob Borchard, working on that. He has obtained all the information. He's reviewing it and putting it together. But I just want to bring this item back to you so that you knew that we are working on that, and we'll have a report for you in the near future on it.
Is this the same program that was referred to by Bob Stadler?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to verify that.
Yes.
So what we're basically looking at is whether it's cost effective.
Right. Some of the, in certain zones, there are no discounts, and in other zones, depending on how your community is rated, the discounts become very minimal, and the amount of maintenance that's required to do that, we're evaluating and questioning whether or not it is worth the time and effort and the cost to put into doing that. And I mean, we're talking like very minimal, less than 5% discounts in some cases, or even a 1% discount in some cases, as I recall right. And so we're just trying to determine, for sure whether or not, this is feasible for us or something that we should go into.
Well, then our Oristimba flood control project, if and when it gets, well, I think it's moving along, that would eliminate the flooding, the floodplain.
Right. So that may change this whole thing also, depending on what happens with that. So.
But that's nothing in the near future. We're talking about 5-10 years down the road.
Yeah, but
3 to 5 years, hopefully, to begin construction. Yeah.
Yeah, they are making progress on it.
Yeah.
That was just informational too. Item 9C, appoint voting delegate for annual League of California Cities Conference. I was a voting delegate last year.
September? Yes.
Bob was voting delegate the year before. Do you feel we should move this around?
Yes,
who else
I
is-
would be in favor of that. I would like
Okay,
to see, I'd like to recommend Tim Parker.
Okay, Tim's going? All right. You want to put that in the form of a motion then?
I'm not going, yeah. I'll be in Europe.
Confirm, this is.
Yeah, I move that we appoint Tim Parker as our voting delegate to the League of Cities Conference in September.
We have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Tim, you get a little ribbons you put underneath your name tag.
Is that what I get for
Yeah.
that?
Remember now, when you pick up your name tag, they'll give you the
You
ribbon
gotta
there
ask
with
for
it.
it.
Oh, very well.
You got to register.
Okay.
Item number 9D, adopt resolution number 2001, next number, a resolution adopting a salary schedule for management, supervisory, and confidential employees.
You want me to go over this?
Yeah, go ahead. and-
Council previously discussed this in closed session. This will apply to department heads, confidential employees, and mid-management or supervisors. The changes will include a salary increase of 3.33%, maintenance of the current health insurance benefits at no additional cost to the employees. For department heads only, is that correct, Margaret? The buyback of
Vacation.
that applies to everyone. That's right. That's for all of these employees. The option to everyone who has the administrative leave, the option to sell back unused vacation time up to 40 hours annually. For department heads, the creation of 2 additional steps, similar to what was done for police and police department last year. Provide a 2% salary match towards deferred compensation program for department heads only. And the last one is longevity pay at 5% after 10 years continuous employment for sworn officers only. That's similar to what was applied to our police and sergeant bargaining unit. This will also apply to would extend now to our lieutenant and police chief. So in other words, all sworn officers. That's pretty much it, other than obviously the public safety benefit for retirement that was included in the public safety memorandum of understanding will also apply to the chief and lieutenant in year 3. That's the 3% at 50 formula. And the lieutenant and chief will also receive the uniform allowance increase that all other police officers and sergeants and corporal received. You
Mr.
have
Mayor?
any questions? Yes.
I just want to bring up for a brief discussion, I'm going to move that we approve this particular item. Just in discussion of my thoughts of labor negotiations and compensating people for their dedication to the city, we certainly also adhere to looking at that with a high level of expectations. I think the expectations of the town and of the city have certainly been raised in terms of what's been going on with all that's been taking place in a progressive mode, and that's something that I throw forethought into that had begun prior to the current administration. In the 10 years that I've lived here, I've watched as some of these changes have taken place. I just happened to be in office at the time that some of the things are actually moving forward on. And so with that, I think that loyalty to the city in terms of compensating the persons and the personnel that work to the city is important. And certainly that goes along with that are the expectations of the city government as well. And so with that, I move that we adopt resolution number 2001 next to number, a resolution adopting a salary schedule for management, supervisory, and confidential employees.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Item number 10, items from the city manager.
I'll go through a few of our projects that we have going on and ask our Public Works Director to help me out as I need it. I believe either today or tomorrow we are close on completing the roof project for the theater. That will be all finished up. The skateboard park, we are working on forming up this week, and on Saturday we will pour a portion of the concrete. We're going to do it in 2 pours, so we'll do the first half on Saturday, and we'll complete the second pour the following Saturday on the 21st. We're using a combination of one of our Public Works employees plus some outside professionals that work concrete to do that work. So the concrete should be completed on the 21st. I have not received an update on when the equipment will ship yet, but everything was ordered immediately after the meeting when you approved it 2 weeks ago, so that should be forthcoming. Inyo Avenue, we are making some progress. The PG&E poles, or not the PG&E poles, the Pac Bell poles, all the telephone and cable have been moved back. The fences have been relocated. The water meters, I believe, have been relocated now. So we're pretty much have cleared everything with the exception of the PG&E poles, and we still have the contingency plan we're working on right now to be able to work around those. So we're expecting, they are doing some work out there now, but the work should pick up rapidly now, and I wish I could give you a deadline when it would be done. We don't have that timeline from the contractor yet, but it should move forward quickly now because we have got the obstacles out of the way that was holding up that project. Downtown streetscape, well, everybody's seen that. It's moving. There have been some delays due to some problems they developed when they began pouring the curbs on the corners. Those are the main things that kind of everything moves out from those corners. They need to make sure they have those exactly right, and then everything can move out from there. They hope by the end of this week to start pouring the straight curbs down the streets, down Fresno and down Main Street here between Kern and Tulare, and then following that they'll begin pouring the sidewalks. So they've been delayed a little bit because of the problems they've run into on the corners, but they're I will put this in for the contractor. It may seem slow, but he is very good to work with. We are very fortunate to have a contractor that when he's running into this problems isn't just throwing up his hands and saying redo the plans and fix it. He's willing to work with us, work it out, and get it fixed right, you know, as he's on the go. And so I will say that we're very fortunate to have that, and he's working on that and keeping that project moving. I think that's all that I had, unless the council has any other
Is
questions.
the streetscape still on schedule?
He mentioned to me today that he might be a couple of days behind where he hoped to be right now, but we're not in bad shape.
Okay.
Cleve, how are the merchants faring as far as overall their businesses?
I've had different responses. You all probably all saw the survey that was done in the newspaper, the West Side Index, and that reported. One of them, I talked to the manager of Ace Hardware the other day, and he said he is just amazed that his business has been booming. It's way above what they expected, and their business doing good. But that's kind of a unique business. I know that some of them are reporting and that their business is down, and as they're reporting, they're trying to hold on and work through it the best they can. And,
How about these promotional items that we were discussing?
we're still waiting for the actual hard hats to come in. They should have been in. I called the person today, and she's trying to get me the UPS number because they were supposed to have been shipped. Or she understood they were shipped, but she thought they would be here by now. And so I called her today, and she didn't get back with me, but I expect to get a message back from her tomorrow to find out where those are. And so those hopefully will be received this week, and we can start distributing those, and we're working on a couple of other things still to keep that going.
I had one other question, Cleve. I was wondering about directional signs for the businesses as far as, I know that some of them it's difficult to get to, and
Mhm.
I think we might even talk about some signs out there that would tell people how they can get to some of those businesses, because I know that it's not a straight line to get to some of them. So
We've discussed a few things, and we've tried to come up with ways to do that, but we still haven't found a good way to actually do that, short of putting signs out on Highway 33 that say this way to San Juan Bank or something.
is that a problem because of the state?
Could be. In fact, normally they will require a encroachment permit to put up a sign like that on the highway. We could try it and possibly get away with it, but it's a matter of, I'm not sure that would completely solve the problem. I've heard about various businesses that have, on Fresno that have talked about things, but especially on the north side of Fresno, they have pretty good access from the city parking lot. It's not, the sidewalk's torn up, but I think personally, we can try to do some more things, but I think a lot of it is just a matter of, we will have another article either this week or next week coming out in the paper that we'll try to get in there to, try to give them some more information, to encourage them, if you need to go downtown, use either Tulare or Merced Street, because those are the streets that are open and can get you access into those businesses. And I think that's the main thing. I talked to someone today who said they were trying to get to, it was a friend, so she was laughing about it, but she was saying she was trying to get to San Juan Bank, and she said, I see those cars over there, but I can't figure out how to get over there. And we simply told her, well, go down to Tulare instead of Fresno or Merced. Go down to Tulare, and then you can get in there. And she saw that and was able to get there.
I think they've done a good job. I think that if you get down there and you drive around, you can find access. You just have to learn the ways to get around downtown, but it's very possible to get almost any place if you learn the system.
Yeah.
And one other thing that wasn't really explained was these other two intersections at Merced Street and Tulare were initially not going to be torn up
Mhm.
until the next phases, but since they had that machine here, and I guess it was very expensive to rent, why they wanted to get it all done at one time, so it's, and they did fix it up finally after they put a little bit more dirt in there. It's not as bad as it was, so. Anything else, Cleve?
That's all I have.
Okay, John?
Cleve, I just wondered what was happening on our billboard there on the south end of town. I see there's a brand new advertisement on the south side.
I am working with with the billboard company on that. We've got a little disagreement, and I'm getting our city attorney involved in it now to see what we can resolve.
Okay.
So
I just noticed a couple days ago there's a brand new advertisement on there, so.
I will state that the concern right now is I have asked, the billboard is currently located on city property, as was deeded to us previously with the development of Yancey storage units. And what I have asked for about the last 4 months now is a copy of the agreement that says they have the right to have that there. If there was a previous agreement, they should have it's called the Business and Professions Code of the state, Business and Profession Code. They may be allowed to keep that there. Either that or we have to compensate them in either tearing it out or helping them move it. But for the last 4 months, as I've consistently asked in writing and verbally for a copy of the agreement to show that they have that, they have not been able to produce one. And that's the concern that I have now. I'm not sure that they have one. And if they don't have one, then in my mind, we're on pretty good standing as far as being able to have that sign removed.
We just don't want it to hold up our NU project there. That was my concern.
I did receive some correspondence yesterday from the company involving that, and I need to talk to the attorney about that, and then we'll respond. So,
That's all I had.
Okay. Bob?
I have nothing.
Tom?
I was just, on the intersections downtown, I think I thought it was kind of funny, and it's still going on. I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, like the police chief, but they still have stop signs on all 4 corners. But they took the intersection out and the lines, nobody stops anymore.
I noticed that
That's
too.
true.
They,
I noticed that.
they just keep driving straight.
It's because it drops off about 20 feet before the stop sign. Everybody, well, they slow down at that point. Oh,
And they just keep on driving. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Tim?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I was just going to comment on the downtown construction, having had the ability to go down and put on some steel-toe boots and walk around down there. I wanted to thank the developer, D.H. Williams, myself also. I had a simple request. I was walking the alleys and checking some of the accessibilities to the businesses, and there at Dr. Conga's office, there was a simple request about putting some plywood down because the egress off of the alley has a lot of gravel there before you get to the actual cement walkway. And that was done with immediately, which I would like to thank D.H. Williams for that, and some of the cooperativeness that Cleve has alluded to that we've been having. I think it's nice. It's something that was very simple, but I'm certain it meant a lot to those patients that were maybe in a wheelchair or using a walker or something to that extent, makes their accessibility a little easier. Also, I wanted to comment on, I've been speaking with staff in terms of the West Side Village access for a pedestrian walkway, and I've been assured that something's going to come about within about a 30-day period of some information of how that access is going to come about. I was kind of circumventing finding a easier way, but we're going to eventually, I think it's something that'll work out that everybody will be happy with, to get over there to the Nob Hill Shopping Center from that area of Prince Road and the West Side Village.
You know, Nob Hill headquarters has been notified of it. The only problem, the biggest problem we have right now, and talking to Doug Stevens, is that we don't know who controls the property. And there's another access that Doug said we could use off of his property,
Right.
but he'd rather go back and use the other.
Absolutely,
And
and
so-
I had spoken with him regarding the delay that we've been having with the Nob Hill Shopping Center, and Doug graciously did speak of in terms of possibly accessing through his property, but it would be temporary. So that's why staff is working on a solution that hopefully we can be able to expedite things. The project's been there this coming September a whole year, and to have to go all the way around the way that they have been is not reasonable. So just wanted to comment on that.
Anything
That's
else?
it. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Ernie, you were up on the roof today at the theater, right? Did it look like they will finish tomorrow?
They had most of the roof already sealed, covered with that Duralast. What they were doing was they were taking that material and draping it over the ledges, excuse me, and they were taking drills and drilling right through the concrete on the side so that they could rivet it to the roof. And I believe that that's about the only thing that they had left to do.
Okay.
So I think that they're pretty much on schedule and should finish sometime tomorrow.
So we should be able to look at that other roof tomorrow then?
Yes, sir. I
Hopefully.
will contact you.
Just get in touch with me. Okay, and the skate park, while you're up there, the part that you have already for the concrete now is the half of it, right? Now, with the other half, will that one tree have to come out of there yet, or?
No, the entire area is pretty much cleared off. We've gotten down to subgrade. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be pouring it in 2 long strips because the slab is a 40 by 80. We're going to be doing a 20 by 80 so that we'll be able to reach the slab area to finish it and not have to stretch out there.
The forms you have in right now are basically what it's, so it will miss that tree then?
Yes, it will miss the tree. There, it's going to be the strip that's going to be on the north side. We have a delay on the south side anyway because we removed a wharf hydrant from there, and then we also have a gas meter that PG&E has to relocate. So we excavated that area, and so we can prepare it. But we've already put in a request for the meter relocation. We've paid our fees, so I'm going to give them a call tomorrow as a reminder and say, you know, better get that thing moved out of there so we can finish our skate park. And we were forming today. We haven't completed the forming, but we did some of the forms. We brought in some of the base rock, and I think we've ordered the concrete. It's scheduled for Saturday morning, 5:30. So
Gonna be
I know,
pouring
we'll
Saturday
all be
morning.
there looking. at
Saturday
it.
morning.
It's kind of nice though that you're able to leave that tree there because that'll provide some shade also.
Yes.
That way it won't be just baking out there in the sun. I think that's good.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The other things I have, the League of California Cities quarterly dinner meeting is over at Stan State this coming Thursday at 6 o'clock. I'm going, Tom's going. Are you going, Tim?
Yes.
Okay. John, Bob, you're going, aren't you? Yeah, okay, so 4 of us are going to that. There's going to be 3 speakers. I don't have that with me, who they are, but they're promised they limit them to 30 minutes each, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Is Cleve going?
No.
Okay.
The other thing is, for everyone that doesn't already have their tickets, Chamber of Commerce Dinner Dance is Saturday at 6:30 at the theater. I'm sure you have a few tickets left, Paul? Okay. Okay.
Board members?
All right, it's a Mexican theme, and who's doing the catering?
Taqueria El Portillo's,
Okay,
right next to
Taqueria Potatoes. Okay, I didn't think I could say that, but okay. I think that's all I have. If there's nothing else, do we have a motion?
I move that we adjourn.
I thought you would.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nobody's gonna beat me.
Passes 5-0. Meeting adjourned.